everybody, how we doing? My name is Camille. Thanks for tuning in on BODHI today. This is Tamal. We're gonna do a dynamic stretch. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll start in child's pose. Bring our toes to touch, let our knees come apart. Allow your torso to just fall in between your legs. Arms can reach towards the front of your space. And just taking a moment to drop in. Wherever you're practicing, just allow the space to become yours on your mat. Let go of any distractions around you. Maybe you have kids in the house, maybe there's animals crawling around. Just try to let that become background noise. Any thoughts that flow into your head, just let them flow right out the other side. Begin to just bring some awareness to your body. Notice how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Just checking in, notice where you're at. And bringing a little bit of awareness to your breath without changing it. Just notice how the rib cage expands and releases with every inhale and exhale. And let's take a big inhale through the nose to hold at the top. Maybe sip in just a little bit more air to cap it off. And open up the mouth, let it go. We'll do that again. Big inhale through the nose to hold. And open up the mouth, let it go. And this time, let's take a big inhale through the nose again to hold. And this time, keeping the lips sealed, just slowly exhale out of the nose. Maybe tapping into your Ujjayi breath, creating those nice long inhales and exhales out of the nose. Just a couple more breaths. When you're ready, on your next inhale, let's roll up to a tabletop position. Stack the shoulders over the wrist, hips over those knees. We'll begin to find a couple cat-cows as you drop your belly, lift your gaze. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tailbone under, tuck the chin to the chest. On your own, just use your breath as your guide. Just begin to find a little bit of a fluid movement in the spine. As you're moving back and forth through these postures, notice where you feel any tightness, any tension, any restrictions. Just noticing them, acknowledging them. A couple more breaths. Maybe you move organically from side to side. Maybe you flip your fingertips to face your upper thighs, get a little bit of a wrist stretch. Doing whatever feels good for you. And finish your last round. We'll meet with a nice long neutral spine. We're gonna tuck our toes and just lift our knees about an inch up off the mat. Over exaggerate the tuck in your tailbone. Draw your belly button up into your spine, turning the core muscles on. And I want you to pop up on those right fingertips and then maybe reach your right arm forward. And then maybe you come up on those left toes, extend that left leg back, trying to create a balance. Nice. Tamal makes it look easy, right? Just a couple more breaths. Try to hold it. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Keeping those knees hovering again, just an inch We'll do the same thing on the other side, so pop up on those left fingertips, get your balance, try to keep those hips square, reach the left arm towards the front of your space. Begin to extend that right leg back when you're ready. Turning on the core muscles again, trying to keep everything in the center. Just 2 more big breaths. Try to hold it. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Find 1 cat, 1 cow, round out the spine. When you're ready, we'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, find downward facing dog. Do whatever you gotta do here to make this place feel like home. Maybe you walk out your dog, sway your hips from side to side. Just taking a moment to settle in, allow your head and neck to be heavy. Maybe you close your eyes. Once you found all your moving, try to find a little bit of stillness. As I begin to mention each body part, I want you to see if you can focus on it. We'll start with our hands. I want you to see if you can lift up all 10 of your fingertips, grounding down through the circumference of your palm, and then 1 at a time, letting down each knuckle and fingertip, expanding your grip on your mat. We let our inner elbow shine forward. Our triceps wrap back. Think about pulling your shoulder blades apart. This is called protraction, creating a little bit of space in that upper back. Head and neck are nice and heavy. Spine is long. Think about your sit bones reaching up towards the ceiling. Notice your hamstrings if they're a little bit tight. Maybe your heels don't touch the ground because of that, and that's okay. But just let your heels disappear behind your toes. And let's roll forward to a high plank. Stack the shoulders over the wrist, ankles over those toes. Let the hips get level with the shoulders. And we'll push back, downward facing dog. Got a couple of these coming our way. Inhale, roll forward to a high plank. Exhale, push back, down dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, hips get high, down dog. Inhale, roll forward to a high plank. This time we're going to pause. Let's drop down onto our forearms. Let your fingertips face forward. Option to take your right arm and reach your hands towards your left elbow crease to help you balance. We're gonna come into a side plank, stacking the hips over towards the right. Left arm is gonna reach up high to the sky. Think about stacking your big toes together, heels slightly apart. Take an inhale, reach your left hand a little bit more. And as you exhale, I want you to reach under your right rib cage for a twist. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, you reach for that twist. Couple seconds on your own. Use your breath as your guide. Try to keep those hips stacked on top of each other as the left hip begins to drift forward as you twist. 1 more. And we'll reach that left arm up. And we'll come back through center to that forearm plank. And then we'll switch sides. So again, maybe you take that left hand and reach the left fingertips towards the right side of your mat. When you're ready, you take a big inhale, reach the right arm a little bit more. Exhale as you thread it under. Inhale, you reach. Exhale, you thread. Just keep moving. And again, it's not about how many reps you do, it's connecting the breaths with the movement. Notice where you maybe find a little bit of a wobble. Core muscles should be turning on. 1 more. Inhale, that right arm reaches, come through center, forearm plank. Let's push back up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, reach the right leg up high to the sky. Lead with that inner right thigh, toes point down towards the ground. We draw forwards, we exhale, draw our knee to our nose just to step it through top of our mat. We're gonna drop down on our back knee. You can untuck those toes and we'll come up for a low lunge. Think about tucking those frontal hip points forward. Belly button again draws up into the spine. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Option to keep the arms reaching up, or you can take your hands at prayer. We're going to tuck our back toes and lift our knee just an inch up off the mat. Again, exaggerating that tuck in our pelvic floor. Think about tucking the chin down into the chest. And we'll lower down that knee. Keep the back toes tucked. Hands are going to come down on both sides of that right leg, and you're going to pull that right leg straight. Let your front foot flex, toes facing towards the face. Think about squaring off the hips. Try not to let that right hip pop out. Allow yourself to fold over that front leg. Let's take a bend back into that front knee. Going back where we were, tuck those back toes, lift the knee just an inch. Hands can come to prayer, or you can reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Notice your second time here, maybe that right glute is beginning to turn on a little bit more. Think about the left hip drawing a little bit forward as the right hip tucks back. And let's lower that back knee. Again, pull that front leg straight. Hands can come down. You know where we're going. Maybe you let yourself get a little bit deeper. You can crawl those fingertips a little bit more forward. Allow the spine to get long. And check in with your breath. Notice if it's wandered off your mat. Just bring it back. And we'll do this one more time. Let's bring a bend back into that front knee. Take your time setting up. We'll tuck the back toes, lift the knee just an inch. And again, find the arms that suit you. Really pressing down with that right big toe. Trying to get nice and high on those left toes. Notice if you're holding any unnecessary tension. Maybe you're biting your jaw, crinkling your eyebrow. Notice where you can relax, a little bit release. Last breath. Let's lower down that back knee and we'll pull that front leg straight. Stacking those hips directly over that left knee. And this is the last time we're here on this side, so again, I invite you to get a little bit deeper. Maybe you crawl those hands forward. Maybe you let your chin tuck to your chest, let the head get heavy. And if you crawled your hands forward, walk them back just so they stack right underneath your shoulders. You're going to keep your left hand where it is. Pop up onto those fingertips if you're not already, and we'll reach the right arm up high to the sky. Find a gentle twist. Option to stick a block or a book maybe under that left hand if you need the extra support. Allow that right hip crease to open up. Hips are still trying to square off. We're finding the twist from our rib cage. Maybe gazes up towards the ceiling. And right hand comes down. We'll find a bend back into that front knee. And you're gonna lift that back leg all the way up. And then you're gonna leave the left hand exactly where it is. Right arm is going to reach up, finding that revolved side angle. Again, think about squaring off the hips. The twist is from the center of your torso. Rib cage faces up. Think about getting that right rib cage a little bit closer to that inner right thigh. Left rib cage, excuse me. And we'll take that right arm and reach it up and overhead. Let the bicep hang about an inch or two above the ear. And think about letting that pinky finger hang closer to the ground. Left thumb reaches up high to the sky. And we'll bring that right arm back up through center, bring it all the way down. Let's find our first vinyasa. Step back to a high plank, we lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips high to the sky. And you should feel a difference between that right and that left leg. Just notice it, acknowledge it. Maybe there's a little bit more length and strength. When you're ready, let's inhale, lift the left leg up high to the sky. Again, leading with that left inner thigh. And we'll bring our knee to nose just to step it through top of the mat. Drop down on that back knee. And we'll come up for a low lunge. Arms can reach high. Again, taking your time adjusting. Think about that left knee stacking perfectly over that left ankle, grounding down through the center of the foot. And you know what's coming. When you're ready, we'll tuck the back toes, lift that knee up just an inch. Getting longer through the sides of the body. Try not to shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And we'll lower that back knee down. Hands can come down. We'll pull that front leg straight. You can allow those right toes to be untucked. Flexing those left toes towards the face. And it's okay if you have a little bit of a bend in your left knee here. You just want to feel a nice stretch on the back of that leg. Let's bring a bend back to that front knee. And setting up, arms can reach up when you're ready. You'll tuck those back toes, lift that knee just an inch. Allow it to hover. And just settle in. It's the one thing about yoga, we know what's coming on this side, so we can set up for it, mentally prepare for it. We try not to dread it, right? We know these things are a little bit challenging, but that's my job, to get you out of your comfort zone, push you a little bit harder. So we look at the things in the practice that are going to help us grow, get stronger. And let's lower down that back knee. Hands come down, pull that front leg straight. And like I said, you know, so we only have one more round of that left. Maybe you get a little bit deeper this time. Again, crawl those fingertips a little bit closer to that left ankle. And when you're ready, let's bend back into that front knee. Tuck those back toes, and we lift that back knee just to hover. The closer you let that knee hover towards the mat, the more challenging this obviously is. So you find the point that works for you. It could be hovering just a centimeter where I could slide a $100 bill under your knee, or you could have a little bit more room. Draw the belly button up into the spine. Don't forget all the little cues since we've been here before. Keep reminding ourselves to check in. Again, hips are square. Try to create a little bit of space between the tops of those shoulder blades. And maybe your jawline, your neck gets a little bit longer. Maybe you close your eyes for the last couple breaths. Let's lower down that back knee, untuck those toes, pull that front leg straight. Letting this be the deepest one yet. Again, maybe you let your head hang this time. Try to get your chest a little bit closer to that left upper thigh. If you crawled your hands forward, bring them back so they stack underneath your shoulders. Right hand is going to stay where it is. Again, pop up on those fingertips. Left arm is going to reach up high to the sky. Try to keep it in line with your shoulders. And again, keeping those hips nice and square. You'll notice Tamal's right hip is stacked perfectly over his right ankle. It's helping him stay balanced as he's still grounding down through that left heel at the front of his mat. And we'll bring that right hand down, bring a bend back into that left knee, and we'll tuck those back toes, lift that right leg up off the mat. Right hand is gonna stay where it is, left arm reaches up high to the sky. Just getting a little bit deeper into our twist. Again, your right rib cage tries to get a little bit closer to your left inner thigh. Think about keeping those hips square, lifting your right hip as much as your left hip is up off the ground. Let's take our left arm, reach it overhead. The bicep hovers an inch or two above the ear. And think about pulling those shoulder blades just a little bit further apart. Right arm, left arm reaches back up and bring it all the way down. Let's find our chaturanga. Step back, we lower. Inhale brings our Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Hips get high to the sky. And let's walk our hands to meet our feet at the back of our mat. Inhale, we lift, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold forward. Let's heel toe our big toes to touch. And we'll have a little bit of space between our heels. Find a nice deep bend in your knees coming up, chair pose. And gazing down, make sure you can see all 10 of your toes. If not, you want to shift your hips back. Again, still thinking about drawing the belly button up into the spine. Pelvic floor drops forward. Let's bring our hands to prayer. And we'll find a twist. Hook the left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Notice that as we're hanging out here, maybe the left knee tries to drift in front of the right. I invite you to kind of scoot it back. Try to keep those hips square. Again, the twist comes from the rib cage. Think about pressing your right hand down into that left hand so your thumbs line up with your sternum bone. Option to hang out here, maybe you open up the arms, expand. Come through center, inhale, arms reach up overhead, hips stay low, exhale, hands come back to prayer, find the twist opposite direction. Right elbow comes under the outside of the left knee. Notice if that right knee is drifting forward, scooch it back. Try to keep your hips lower than your heart here. Let's inhale, come through center, arms reach up, hips stay low. Exhale, get out of there, forward fold. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale, we bow. Let's walk our way out to a downward facing dog. Let's take a big inhale through the nose to hold. Open up the mouth, let it go. This time finding a lion's breath, so sticking out your tongue on your exhale. Big inhale through the nose to hold. Stick out that tongue, let it go. Let's reach the right leg up high to the sky. Lead with that right inner thigh. We'll bring the knee to nose just to step it through top of the mat. You'll drop down on that back knee and begin to heel toe that ankle towards your left wrist and let your knee fall open towards the right. Find pigeon pose. Allow yourself to scoop back, sinking down into those hips. If your right glute is hovering off the mat, I invite you to maybe shove a towel or a book underneath it just so it's supported on something. And allowing yourself just to settle in. We'll be here for about a minute or so. You can let your head and neck hang heavy. Maybe you stack your fists on top of each other so your forehead has something to rest on. And checking in with your breath. If it got lost at any moment during the practice, just bring it back. Trying to find that mindfulness of the long inhales and exhales that we brought to our attention at the beginning of the practice. When you're ready, let's step up onto our hands. We'll tuck the back toes, swing that right leg back. Maybe you shake it out. Notice the difference between the right and left hip. And when you're ready, let's lift the left leg up high to the sky. Bring it through knee to nose just to step it through. Again, take your time walking that ankle over towards that right wrist. Let your knee fall towards your left. Maybe you scoot the hips back an inch or two. And the first breaths on the side, maybe you notice the difference between the right and the left. We usually tend to have one hip that's a little bit tighter than the other. And that's okay, just noticing it, acknowledging it, accepting it. And just breathe into the space where you feel tension. And notice if you're causing any unnecessary tension. Again, is your jaw tight? Are you furrowing your eyebrow? Squinting your eyes? Try to just let it all go. When you're ready, let's step up onto your hands. And we'll tuck the back toes, come through to that down dog, shake out that left side. And we'll drop down onto the knees, cross one ankle over the other, swing those legs through. And we'll come all the way onto our backs. Allow your knees to bend. Your heels get nice and close to your sit bones. Arms can come down by your sides. On your next inhale, you'll lift your hips high to the sky, pressing into the soles of those feet. Finding a bridge. Maybe you tuck your upper shoulder blades under and you interlace your hands under your low back like Tamala is doing. Option to find full wheel if that's in your practice. About 3 more big breaths. If you interlaced your hands, you can let them go out back to the sides. Let's lower those hips down. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Try to grab opposite elbows over your shins. Draw your forehead to your knees. Let's take a big, big inhale through the nose to hold. Take one more little sip of air just to cap it off. Holding to any stress, tension, anxiety, anything else you're holding on to just for a little bit more. And let it all go. Arms and legs get long. Allow your body to get heavy on the mat. And you've made it. Sweet, sweet Savasana. I invite you while you lay here to just let go of any thoughts, feelings, emotions, detaching yourself from the practice, the physical body, and just let yourself be. And take a big inhale through your nose. Open up the mouth, let it go. Gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Roll out the wrist, the ankles. Maybe the arms reach up overhead. You find a full body stretch. And then rolling over to your favorite side. Allowing the knees to draw into the chest. And when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And we'll find our hands at prayer heart center. Just pausing, taking a moment to find a little bit of gratitude for your practice, your physical body, all the things that it's just done. And take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on your mat today, for you to take care of yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally. And bringing thumb knuckle out to third eye center. Namaste.